Hello, we're at the Wallace Collection in London.
Today, our 9 artists are here to paint 3 outstanding actors in shows as varied as Game of Thrones and Hunger Games.
You know, we should call this programme Game of Tones.
Oh, yes, I like it.
Oh, it's good. But it isn't called that. This is a brand new series of Sky Art's Portrait Artist of the Year.
Over the next 8 weeks, some of the most talented artists from Britain and Ireland are coming to showcase their talents.
I've been just constantly painting in my head. Even last night, I couldn't even sleep. I think I was just dreaming painting.
In front of the public, they'll have just 4 hours to paint the portraits of some very famous faces.
How does it feel?
Feels good. I'm going to do this a lot. Is that okay?
Oh, no, that'd be wonderful.
Do you want to look noble, interesting, quirky?
I mean, yeah, you all taking notes on those that would be fantastic.
Wow.
The reason they're putting themselves under such pressure? A possible life-changing prize, a £10,000 commission to paint the portrait of broadcaster Graeme Norton. It will hang in the permanent collection of the National Gallery of Ireland.
Someone came up to me and said, Bill's about to start waxing.
About to wax.
I nearly arrived in a robe. But just who wins the prize is up to our judges. Award-winning artist Tyshan Sheerenberg, art historian Kate Bryan, and independent curator Kathleen Soriano.
It's great. I think they're brilliant, actually.
So, from today's 9 artists...
Every brush I put down, I'm kind of excited, but also terrified at the same time.
Who will be the first to make it to the semi-final? So your measurements are all instinctive?
Which can go horribly wrong.
But it'll be great television.
Okay, perfect.
Arriving for today's heat are 5 professional artists. Michaela Del Campo, Charlotte Baines, Marek Ducter, Kimberly Klaus, and Charlie Schaefer.
My strategy today is to just put as much paint down as quickly as possible and just have fun with it.
They are joined by 4 amateur artists. Charlie Collins, David Douglas, Kieran Meehan, and Michael Roberts.
I've been practicing a lot, so I think I've got it pretty tight, hopefully.
Today's artists were selected after sending in a digital copy of a self-portrait. Now we have the originals, we've created our own exhibition for the judges to study. Well, here it is, the Wall of Hope, the pictures that you have selected from those that were submitted.
It's such an engaging portrait. I'm so pleased we picked it.
It's packed with character, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I love the character of the face, all the different colours, but it feels really natural at the same time.
And I think we were really pleased to have that amount of the body covered, because often you have just the head. So someone who's brave enough to take on almost a full length.
It's a really honest bit of painting.
Back to the camera, as it were.
The figure's fantastically observed, and I love that composition where the head is sort of sliced across.
Tricky to paint a portrait of your back.
Yeah.
What attracted me to it is the light. It is a real body and space in light outdoors, and as such, I would say it's a portrait.
For me, it just wasn't qualifying enough for a portrait, but I like being proven wrong, so let's see what happens today.
Look at those great squashy brushes.
I love this, to capture so much, like a whole, half body, but doing so little. It seems so easy, and I know that it's not.
I think the way in which she's constructed a sense of character with that economy of the paint is incredible.
And what is interesting about it, we know other people who use brush marks, but not these sort of brush marks. So it's very original in the way it feels.
Amongst the submissions in today's heat, is a portrait chosen by just one of the judges, and today it's Kate's choice.
I love it. I'm so pleased I chose it. The combination of all these different patterns and colours, the stripy fence, the kind of lawn going into the background.
What's not to like?
Seeing it in the flesh, it's much bigger and more monumental than I thought it was when I saw it on screen. I have to say, it's very nicely painted in a sort of dry, unflashy sort of way.
Divided into 3 groups of 3, the artists will have just 4 hours to paint a portrait, striking enough to win them a place in the semi-final. And for some today,
Even more brushes.
they've come extra prepared for the challenge ahead.
I thought, better safe than sorry, you never know. So I brought the whole studio, the whole kit and caboodle.
This box. It was my granddad's box. He made it himself. He was an artist as well. It's been a bit of a family heirloom, and I thought I'd bring it along for luck.
Amateur artist Michael Roberts lives in Aberystwyth with his wife and 2 young children. After studying for a PhD in fine art, he now works as the university's IT manager. His self-portrait is in coloured pencil, which enables him to capture the fine detail of the skin.
The 4 hours to me seems like a very short amount of time, because I normally spend 6 months to a year painting things.
With canvases prepped and paintbrushes poised, the only thing the artists are waiting for is their sitters.
I haven't painted any famous people at all, ever. I've just painted family and friends, and a few enemies.
The ideal sitter is somebody that is very still and perhaps a very beautiful woman.
So, artists, your sitter today is an amazing actor. He was in The Lovely Bones, he was in Hunger Games, he was in The Devil Wears Prada. You are very lucky because your sitter today is the brilliant Stanley Tucci. As if being a huge Hollywood star isn't enough, Stanley Tucci's varied career has seen him direct films, own a restaurant, and even write a cookbook. Stanley, it's fabulous to have you here. What are you looking for in this? Are you looking for some grand portrait that will be above your fireplace?
Oh, without question. Yeah, yeah, because I just love images of me.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
you have some in your
I
house.
have a few. I think you're on my screensaver.
Yeah. I used to draw and studied drawing, and I'm just fascinated by the process, always.
There are 2 types of sitters on this show. There are ones who can't resist having a bit of a peep, and the ones who hold back for that special moment of revelation. Which one do you think you'll be?
It would be very difficult for me not to peek. Yeah.
Try not to look really disappointed.
Okay, yeah. All right, I'll act.
You're so good at that, dear.
Yeah.
Artists, your sitter today doesn't shy away from drama on either stage or screen. Please welcome Indira Varma. Actress Indira Varma has gripped audiences as a murderer in What Remains, a victim in Luther, and out for revenge in Game of Thrones. Now then, this is going to be an interesting day for you.
Yes, it's interesting, the idea of being an actor sitting here. I'm not going to be conveying anything or communicating particularly, not in an active way.
You don't think you're going to be acting a sitter?
No. Well, I'd like not to be. I'm really curious to see what you will see with me not doing anything.
Artists, your sitter today is an amazing actor who made his screen debut when he was 12 months old. Please give him a big welcome. He is Freddy Hymore. Award-winning actor Freddy Hymore spent his childhood acting alongside Johnny Depp in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Finding Neverland, and now stars as a crazed teenager in the hit thriller series Bates Motel. Do you own any paintings of you?
No, I've never sat for anyone before.
I think it's a beautiful thing to have, and one of these paintings will be yours. And later today, you will have the terrible choice when you will break 2 hearts simultaneously.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't apologise in advance. Also, don't look at a particular artist when you say sorry.
I try to look at everyone.
As if you know already, you think, well, that one won't be very good. So can I say, what would you really like from Freddy today in an ideal world?
Is that the way that you would sit
Is
if you were
this
at
good,
home?
or- Yeah.
I like the leg up. I don't know if
leg
that's
up
going to be
is good.
too...
I could see you better if you weren't wearing your
Do you want
glasses.
these without glasses?
Well, I prefer it, but I don't know about them.
I would personally, but it's up to you. I mean, if the
That's
glasses
fine with
are,
me, yeah.
are who you are, then wear them.
I don't have to see you do.
That's true. That's very true.
So, are you ready to be the sitter? Yes.
Yes.
Good luck to all of
Thank
you.
Artists and sitters, your challenge is about to begin.
You have 4 hours to complete your portraits, and the time starts now.
You're seeing all my defects, my spots, my wrinkles. Quite liberating, oddly.
She's fantastic. Strong features, very big contrast between the hair and the skin tones. We got a beautiful woman, and I'm happy what we got.
Michele Del Campo is a professional artist. He completed his Masters in Fine Art at the University of Milan before moving to London to teach and paint. Michele enjoys creating stories in his work, as in his self-portrait entitled The Fall.
In your submission, I can't see your face, so to what extent do you think it's a genuine self-portrait?
It is not a self-portrait of appearance, but it is a self-portrait of a situation. I prefer to see myself through other people's faces.
So will we see this today? Will we see an element of self-portrait in the portrait?
We always see an element of self-portrait in all the paintings that somebody does.
The artist can choose any medium, but most of today's competitors have chosen paint. And one artist is enjoying the flexibility provided by using oils. Can I tell you that from over there, I thought, oh, Kimberly's using watercolours. You're obviously not doing that, but you've taken on a sort of a whispery, light, shimmering style.
It might be a little too whispery. I do tend to be a little bit romantic, so
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get rid of it completely.
Please don't fight romantic. New York-born Kimberly Klaus lived in Tokyo and Germany before moving to London with her husband. After making a career in product design, Kimberly decided to commit to life as a professional artist only 3 years ago. So what is the next stage for this
So
portrait?
I'm trying to work out some of the proportions in his face, because I think he has a really sort of the distance between, let's say, his mouth and his chin.
Do you do that thing that you see artists do when you hold up the brush and do that measuring?
I don't do that much. Maybe I should every once in a while, just to be sure, because sometimes you go a bit blind after looking at it for too long.
Yes, so your measurements are all just instinctive.
Yeah.
I respect you for that.
Which can go horribly wrong.
Yes.
So we'll see.
But it'll be great television.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
When starting a portrait, there are no hard and fast rules. While most plot out the whole figure first, one artist has begun with a single feature.
Charlie, I'm used to people starting all over the place and getting there, whereas you started with the nose and you're working your way out. Is that how you usually work?
That is how I usually work. I would usually be going a lot slower than this and paying much closer detail to every part, try and get it right, and then move on and spread out.
After studying fine art at Brighton University, Charlie Schaefer moved to London and now works as a professional portrait artist. Having reached the shortlist of his heat in the last series of Portrait Artist of the Year, he's come back with new determination to face today's challenge.
So do you think we'll see that playfulness that you sort of introduced in your submission?
I hope so. I'm trying to actually play around with what you can do within a picture as well and trying to make them exciting for me, because if it's not exciting for me, then it's not going to be exciting for anyone else to look at as well.
You found a very nice grey there.
Yes.
It's a great start. It's very good.
The artists have been working for almost an hour.
I'm a bit worried I might have made him look a bit older than he is. As I paint into it, perhaps those lines will be softened and might get his youth back.
At this point, things are looking wonderfully. When things start going well, you get more nervous that you might muck it up, and that's when things can go really wrong.
Battling it out for a place in the semi-final, our 9 artists have been painting actors Stanley Tucci, Freddy Hymore and Indira Varma for nearly an hour at the Wallace Collection in London.
While most artists paint the colours they see in front of them, one is interpreting them in a highly original way.
Tell me about the black, because you've ignored the black slightly.
There's so many colours being reflected that I'm getting very excited, because all of a sudden, I really want to add that bit. So I'm trying to pack quite a lot of responses in.
Charlotte Baines worked in childhood development before becoming a professional artist. After falling in love with the south of Spain while on holiday, she now divides her time between there and her home in Kent.
You've probably got more paint on than anybody else at this stage of the day. Are you kind of confident that you can not put too much on, or that you can just get it on there and play around?
I seem to want to do that today. This is my response, and I'm sort of trying to go with it.
I'm getting a very kind of Matisse vibe from it. This lovely, all these brilliant colours. I think that's a really interesting bit of painting.
Thank you.
A critical element in any portrait is the angle chosen by the artist. It already looks sort of monumental.
Monumental?
Yeah. You know when they find these enormous heads in Egypt?
Yeah, I'm looking from below. So that's why it's got the look exactly like you're looking at the sculptures.
Exactly,
because
as if I'm looking at
sitting
an enormous...
down and I'm looking up.
Slovakian Marek Dukta is a professional artist who lives in London with his 6-year-old daughter. His self-portrait took 2 months to paint, using tiny marks of red, green and blue oil paint to replicate a digital image. So what's the philosophy behind that pixelated look?
That's really how we see each other these days. On screen, on mobile phones, everywhere. It's all pixels. So it's not really reality. It looks real. It's not if you zoom it. It's everything built from those red, green and blue colours.
So is it a criticism of that?
Not
that
necessarily,
way of living?
yeah.
So it'd be slightly hypocritical as you're working from an iPhone picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask you one other thing? Is it true you were born on a train?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Was it a moving train?
Yeah, moving train, yeah. It went to another town.
Okay.
In Czechoslovakia.
Do you think that has an effect on your psychology, that you weren't born in one specific place? You were...
I don't know about psychology, but I'm sure it has some effect on me.
I don't want to distract you. You know, I'd love to just have a chat, but I feel like I may just...
Then you get caught up chatting and not painting
exactly.
and stuff, yeah.
I don't want to be to blame if you don't get it finished. Like, well, Freddy was talking to me too much.
No, we won't do that.
So what do you think about Freddy as a sitter?
Well, you know, sometimes the artists complain, don't they, if they get someone young and handsome, because they haven't got enough craggly things to get into. But I think he's got quite a gravitas to him, despite his youth.
Yeah, I think that what they'd ideally like is one of those Bolivian peasant women you get on the front of National Geographic magazine. So you can work for hours on every line.
Yeah,
and
they're hard to track down in London.
When he arrived today, I thought, I'm quite glad he's gone for the light beard. That's at least given them something to work on apart from just that shiny youth.
She's chosen to wear black from head to toe.
It's quite a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, but she's got this fantastic background behind her, all those rich colours. I think the costume, for me, shouts actor. You know,
It's lovely. It's so dramatic.
It's so dramatic. It's a bit of a gift, really, for the artist in some way.
Bare feet. I don't think the bare feet will figure, which is a pity.
It is a pity. But again, she knows she's got bare feet, and that will affect the way in which she's sitting and the way in which she's presenting herself.
Stanley's wearing a grey suit and a black shirt against a grey background.
They're all different greys, though.
I believe there are 50 in total, 50 shades. That's what I've heard, yeah.
So both Charlie over there and Kieran have made the greys very blue. So it's good for the artist because it's adaptable. Whereas, you know, a bright orange or strong colours are kind of very difficult to work with.
As a sitter, Stanley is a gift. His face is so animated without him knowing. He also gets a great range of expressions that you can include.
Amateur artist Kieran Meehan lives in Glasgow. He enjoys capturing expressions in faces and was keen to include the whole figure in his self-portrait, which was painted in his favourite chair at home.
You work for cartoons?
I'm a cartoonist. I have a comic strip, a daily comic strip for syndicated in America, so... But it's very different from this. It's very different.
But in a way, though, that skill must translate to being able to capture likeness pretty quickly like that.
It must do, but this was the original skill, and that translated to cartoons rather than...
The other way around.
The other way around, yes.
We really liked your submission because of the whole figure being in it, so we're very pleased you've done that with Stanley as well.
You're a cartoonist also?
I am, yes.
Is it for newspapers or is it for...
It's for newspapers.
Like syndicated?
Yes, it's a daily comic strip called Pros and Cons.
Oh, really? Here or
in America?
In America. I have to look it up.
I'm really pleased with the sitter. He's got nice shapes within his hair, which can be echoed throughout the whole picture.
David Douglas is an amateur artist who lives in Northamptonshire, where he teaches art and exhibits his work in local galleries. He was a contestant in the Landscape Artist of the Year 2015 and has come back hoping to impress the judges with his skills in portraiture.
In your submission, your portrait had a lot of information in the background.
With the self-portrait, we had the luxury of having as long as we wanted, and we could bring in a narrative, all sorts of things like rusty old sheds and rhododendrons. The focal point is the figure and here today, and that's the most important thing.
For some, working alongside others is a new experience, so each artist is dealing with it differently. Charlie.
Hello.
You've created your own private little world here. I love that. Is the kind of paint set I had when I was 9.
Yeah. I've had it like 4 years now,
Have you?
so
From
haven't
when you were
washed
9?
it since.
17-year-old Charlie Collins is an amateur artist from Buxton in Derbyshire and is the youngest artist in today's heat. More used to painting her pets, Charlie's submission was her first self-portrait and is in her favourite medium, watercolour. What are your difficult bits? I talk to portrait artists and they always say, not very good on noses or I'm not happy with ears. Do you have a bit where you slightly dread mouths?
Yeah.
I've noticed the mouth is becoming steadily more downturned.
I've caught him smiling, so...
Oh, he's got a beautiful smile. You play ukulele, don't you?
I do.
And I play ukulele.
Okay.
And generally, I feel that people who play ukuleles are good people.
I should have brought a ukulele along.
I wish you'd brought it. I
I
would love to sit here now and play together.
Do you take a lot away, or do you try and be careful about every single mark so you don't add too many?
Can take away a lot, so I try to allow myself to make a lot of mistakes to be not so fearful and be a little bold, and then I can always use the turpentine to just pull color back.
Halfway through the day, and as predicted, Stanley can't resist taking a peek at his artist's work.
It's an interesting technique. You do the drawing underneath, then you paint over it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's a great
Thank you
idea.
very much. As long as everything comes together at the end.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great. It's great.
Here at the Wallace Collection, actors Stanley Tucci, Indira Varma and Freddy Hymore are being scrutinised by our artists. But the judges are also scrutinising them as they form their opinions halfway through the challenge. So what about the three artists painting Stanley at the moment?
Kieran started with a very nice drawing on the canvas, and I thought, oh, here we go. You know, he'll start blocking in the paint. And then he sort of painted over most of the drawing as it's Stanley's hands, and now Stanley's appeared in that mess of paint. So that's been very exciting to watch.
Yeah, and Charlie's doing a good job as well. Great characterful head. Lovely little bits of paint here and there. It's great.
Charlotte started with this explosion of colour. She has something very beautiful at the moment, facially.
For me, it was really great toward the end of the morning, and then there was way too much paint, and I was thinking, oh, it's going to end up a big muddy pond. And what she's done is refine it.
Kim's work is really exciting. I think she's found a way of dealing with Freddy's paleness against his pale shirt and the pale background. But she's just darkened the background, and now Freddy's starting to pop out a bit.
It's a beautiful painting, but we're waiting almost for it to kind of come to life. And it's this time after lunch that I'm hoping that they all start to sort of ping.
To create a perfect portrait, an artist needs consistent lighting. But the glass roof is presenting something of a challenge.
The light is affecting the painting quite drastically because the sun has now moved over that way, which means the shadows are pretty much entirely reversed from when we started. There's no real one way to resolve it, so I think the best one can do is just keep painting.
You're starting to find definition in the face.
Yes, I'm trying. The light has changed quite a bit.
But in a good way or in a bad way? It could be like the light has changed and it's giving you more information.
It has helped me to understand certain shapes.
Okay.
I just need to be unafraid to go and put those shapes
Yeah,
in
no.
there.
I think there's things happening here. It's looking very nice.
Well, my dad was an artist and art teacher, so he would do sketches of us periodically. I used to be able to sit for a lot longer periods of time when I was younger without getting sore. Now I can't do that. I love the process. It's endlessly interesting to me, and they're also really talented. So.
It's intriguing. I just enjoy seeing all the people's faces as they go by and seeing the various reactions and trying to work out what they look like from that. I guess it will be interesting to see how my relaxed face comes across. You know, some people say, oh, your relaxed face is really angry or stony-faced or happy, so it'll just be intriguing to see how they think I'm feeling inside.
We make snap judgments about people when we first meet them, and I think the longer you sit with them, the more their face changes and the more you realise that, OK, like I've got a long nose and a long neck. Maybe I look a bit haughty, but that's not really my personality. So whether they see that, I don't know.
Friends and family are a big support for our artists. And for Kimberly's parents, that's been no mean feat.
Well, I can't believe how special this event is for you. Explain to me, Yvonne.
And when she called and said she got in, we got very emotional and said we had to be there. He said, we'll be on the next plane from Connecticut.
So we got on the internet and booked the tickets.
And you're married to her, and you lived with it all this time. Does it create a sort of tension, excitement, apprehension?
Happiness, I would say. I'm just really happy for her.
Your mum and dad have flown over from America today.
Yes, they have.
That is the most
it's really
gorgeous
nice.
thing.
It's really nice.
Does that make you feel sort of warm and that you've got something familiar here, or do you feel slightly extra pressure? It's a long way to fly to see you lose.
It is long.
The artists have only 30 minutes remaining.
Kind of excited, I think, is the feeling you get when you get near to the end of a painting. Every brush I put down, I'm kind of terrified at the same time.
I was just thinking that it will be what it will be. I could easily work it and make it far more realistic, but actually, I don't want to lose that essence.
Here at the Wallace Collection, our 9 artists are near the end of their 4-art challenge to paint actors Stanley Tucci, Indira Varma, and Freddy Hymore.
I'm adding some dark tones to the face. I am trying to define some areas. I did go back when a cloud came through and worked out some areas along the cheek. So I'm doing what I think I can in the time left over.
I'm watching you paint literally the last inches in. You've covered the entire canvas.
Yeah, which I didn't do last time,
We don't usually get a whole covered canvas.
Well, no, it's still very tight for time.
Yeah.
Artists, you have just 5 minutes remaining.
5 minutes, that is? Bloody hell. I'm okay.
Is there anything I can do in 30 seconds that's quick? A fingernail.
Artists, your time is up.
Please put down your materials and stand back from your portraits.
After sitting still for 4 hours, the time has finally arrived when Stanley, Freddy and Indira see the completed portraits and are allowed to choose one to keep. We have a very special moment now where the easels are turned and you see the pieces for the first time. But you have been studying the art throughout the day. But I'm sure you can do a surprised
Oh, yeah,
look.
I'll do it.
So let's
Might have to do a couple of takes, but...
So, artists, will you please turn your easels?
Oh, my God! Wow.
Here is Charlie's piece.
Beautiful. Done really painterly, as they say. Good word. I really like it.
If ever there's a job as a Bond villain going, you should send this in your application.
Yeah.
There is a menacing air about it, I think.
Yeah. Fantastic. I can't believe you're 17?
17.
That's extraordinary.
Thank you.
And you're working with watercolor, which is really not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, and that's a delicacy about it, which is lovely, doesn't it? This is a different you, isn't it? I want to put my arm around this.
Well, go ahead. I think it's fantastic. I love the gesture of it. I mean, I love the outline and the solidity of it.
Thank you.
I love the way you painted it, too. You had the cartoon underneath, and then you put all the paint on top of it. It's really an interesting technique. It's beautiful. I love them all. I don't know what to do. I'm going to choose that. Well done. Good. I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
Wow, they are very different.
They are totally different, aren't they?
It's quite bold. It's like, I'll just go for it. Yeah.
She's a very bold lass.
I love the way that it's got that split in the background and it fades away. It's wonderful. This one's so lifelike. In a funny way, it reminds me of my dad. I don't know why. I look at it, I'm like, God, it's my dad's eyes or eyebrows. I guess the angle is the most pronounced on this one. Your attention is immediately drawn to that one eye as opposed to anything else. Well, thank you, all of you. I think I'm going to take Kimberly's one. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Indira, you were absolutely poised and present, I think, is the...
Oh, good.
Was it in any way an enjoyable experience?
Yes, thoroughly enjoyable. This is the hell bit.
Artists, can you please turn your easels?
God. Wow. I think it's beautiful. There's so many colours, it's vibrating, it's gorgeous.
It looks like
really...
a hologram from certain angles.
Yeah.
It's part art, part magic trick.
Yeah. Wow.
Charlotte.
God, it's completely different. It's full of energy. Totally got your personality in there as well. It's fantastic. Oh my gosh. And the eyes suddenly ping.
Yeah. So a nice, easy choice, this one.
I don't know what to do. I will have to go for... I'm going to go for that one.
While the artists take a well-earned break, the judges are left alone with the portraits to decide on a short list of 3.
I think she had a better likeness earlier on. I find the colours a bit overwrought.
I started off having a problem with the colours, and I thought, hold on a minute, they're true, apart from the yellow and then this orange. But she's used those to bounce the eye, you know, across and to bring you into the face more.
Mm. What I think ultimately she's done is create a really wonderful harmony. There is absolutely this wonderful energy of it all just hanging in space, just right.
And sort of strange effects she gets around the hands, and when it starts running, it's like a solarized photograph. You get kind of, it's almost like an X-ray.
There were some things that I was really like, should I? And I didn't, and I still want to.
It was fascinating to watch him bring this together. There's so much going on. There's all this information that's been painted over.
I'm keen on the way he's focused again on the hands and the face as he did in his submission.
Is it a good likeness? It's strange. Sometimes I think it's a Stanley that was there, and sometimes it's a Stanley that is out. I didn't find... I'm not totally comfortable with the likeness. I like this. It's like a gloomy, digital Mona Lisa. I mean, the expression is very sort of subdued, but sort of half smiling.
Yeah, I think there's something enigmatic about it too. There's definitely something that he captures. It's the stillness of it, I think.
Yeah. It was a joy to watch this emerge from just the corner of a nose and it spread out. I like the inventiveness of his brush marks.
He's made him look too old for me. I don't know if I'd want my portrait painted like that, but I recognise it's a very good piece of painting. I think I like it as a painting first and a portrait second.
I don't think a painting should necessarily just be a likeness. At the end of the day, it should be an interesting painting as well.
Pop it through there.
It's interesting that when you bring those ones in, how much weaker that one starts to look.
Yeah.
But who has made it to the top 3?
The first artist to be shortlisted is Charlie Schaefer.
The second artist on the shortlist is Kimberly Klaus.
And the third artist to be shortlisted is Kieran Meehan.
Commiserations to there was some fabulous performances by you guys today. Thank you so much. You did a great job.
Feeling very relieved now that it's over, if you like, because it's been a bit scary, but also still exhilarated. I've enjoyed it very much.
As always, I'm intrigued to find out how the judges arrived at their shortlist. Can I just say, for me, the elephant in the room is when I sat next to Indira and those three artists turned the three portraits. I just thought this is one of the best moments I've ever had on this programme. So obviously, the fact that none of them made the top three.
At this stage, we're looking at both at the submission and the portrait today, and we're thinking about the level of promise that they will bring going forward.
All three of these have got unbelievably good submissions. It was a really strong day.
Yeah. Now, Kimberly, we all liked when we looked at the wall. There was no question. Everyone went, wow.
I think what's really magical about her paintings is the amount of information that your eye doesn't have. The sense of this painting kind of just existing on the surface really pulls me in.
The level of suggestion is something that has to engage you in order to sort of work with the construction.
I often walk past paintings during this competition and think, after an hour and a half, say, I wish you'd stop now. I like the slightly unfinished feel.
The colours are still a little soft. I would have liked to add some bolder marks to anchor it a little bit.
I think Kieran's picture of Stanley is terrific.
It was nice, the different stages it went through.
Yeah.
And he knew exactly what he was doing. You could see the confidence oozing from it, and he just caught him perfectly.
I think what's really interesting about the painting is that it did continually evolve, and in many respects, I think it continually evolves after it's finished.
There are so many things I'm not happy with. I should have stepped back from the canvas more often.
Charlie was controlled, it was very measured. And actually, I do think he talks about how he starts with the nose. And as he works out slowly, he does capture that sense of character.
There's odd passages in it, but I quite like that. You keep coming back to it, and it never quite settles or resolves itself.
It's a beautiful painting, I think, yeah.
If I were able to change anything, I'd probably think more about every stroke rather than just paint, paint, paint.
Charlie, Kimberly, Kieran, congratulations to you all, but as you well know, only one can go through to the semi-finals, and the judges have decided.
Yes, the artists that they have decided, and I quote, took a refreshing original approach which showed tremendous sensitivity. And that artist is Kimberly Klaus.
I feel absolutely fantastic. I woke up this morning and had no idea this would be the outcome of today. I couldn't be happier.
Kimberly's portrait is beautiful and a worthy winner.
I had a lovely day today. I'm feeling happy that it's over. It's been pretty exhausting, so just glad the day is kind of done.
As an artist, you're often relying on yourself. Nobody's handing out praise, so it's a validation. It's a big deal for me.